Hi, lovelies, and welcome back to the Stuck Between the Covers podcast. Whether you are listening or tuning into the video, you may realize the setup today is looking a little bit different. It is actually like 11:30 p.m. right now, and I just had the craziest urge to fill y'all in. So this podcast episode is going to be very low key, very much like FaceTime call vibes, a little bestie check-in. We're gonna just talk about all the things going on in my life and why it's been a minute since you guys have heard from me. I know that I keep saying I'm gonna get better at posting podcasts, and let's face it, I never am, and I'm so sorry for that. Y'all deserve better. I know you do. You know you do. And this summer, I'm really gonna try to lock in. I know I say that now, but my goal is to get a little bit better at like the more low content, easier style content, because for me, like, I'm very big, like, if it's not perfect, I don't want to post it. And I feel like that creates a very big block when it does come to generating content, because it's like I don't want to put it out there if I don't feel like it's my best work, or if I could feel like I could do it better. And then it's like I don't end up filming at all because I'm like, oh, in order to film, first I have to get all dressed up and I want to have a good background and I want to have an outline and blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, now I have nothing because I just had so many plans and I don't have the time always to do all of that. So we are slowing down a little bit. The academic year has finally ended for me. Thank goodness. Okay. Guys, this year was gonna take me out. I'm not even joking. It was horrible. But we're done. And now it's summer, and that is the best time for us to focus on our favorite hobby, reading. So I'm very ready to be, I don't even know if it's necessarily a reading machine, but I definitely want to be a bookish content creator machine, which is kind of the perfect segue. Wait, this was an accident. Into our next topic, which is how the bookstagram's been going lately. If you guys know me at all, you know that Bookstagram is my thing. I love posting on Instagram. I love making videos. I love making reels. If you're not following me on Instagram at Landry_reads, you totally should be. I love it over there. That is like my favorite place to be. So, my goal over summer, you ready for this? 2 reels a day. 2 reels a day over summer. That is my hope. And we're just gonna see like if we can build up a sustainable enough routine that I can keep that going throughout the whole year. A big goal of mine is to hopefully maybe get to 10K within the year. I don't know how feasible that is yet. I have been doing Bookstagram for 3-ish years now, and I'm at 3,700 as of tonight. So, the growth has been like, it's definitely become more exponential, I feel like, which is really rewarding to see as someone who puts so much time and effort into their content. But I think also, I don't know, like 3 years for 3K, the math isn't mathing to all of a sudden get to 10K. But also, I know that if I really put in the effort to being consistent and posting more and, kind of putting in that work behind the scenes, then we should be able to hopefully maybe kind of do it. I'm so sorry if you heard that notification in the background. That was on me, guys. I forgot to turn down my volume. Oops. I'm sorry. Won't happen again, besties. My attention is all yours now. So yes, that as far as Bookstagram goes is the goal. 2 reels a day. I kind of want to get back on the YouTube grind. Get back on the YouTube grind. I want to get on the YouTube grind. Your girl was never on it to begin with. Okay, so I'd like to get on the YouTube grind. Do some like 15-minute-ish videos, some like summer reading diaries. I think that would be so much fun. I'm okay, besties. This is what I really want to talk to you guys about because I'm so anxious about this. I'm getting my wisdom teeth out. I'm terrified. I am so scared. To me, I just thought like, okay, you get your wisdom teeth out, you're a little sore for the next 2 days, and then it's like, boom, like you're fine. And it's come to my attention that your face could be swollen for up to like 2 weeks. 2 weeks, like I don't want to look like a chipmunk for 2 weeks. And especially as someone who literally is like filming and behind a camera all the time, like what do you mean? So that's horrible. Maybe that's when we decide to go to podcasting, and maybe I say, hey guys, we're not doing video podcasts for 2 weeks. It's gonna be just audio podcast. um I don't know, we'll see how that goes. Or maybe, we'll just be rocking the just got my wisdom teeth out chic, like, I don't know. So I'm very nervous about that. Talked about it a little bit in my broadcast channel over on Instagram. Again, like I said, Instagram is like my thing. All my stuff's on Instagram. What else? So yeah, so I've been wanting to post on YouTube. I had such a good idea for a series. Well, not a good. Okay, I don't want to say like I had a good idea. Like, it's an idea that I've been seeing around, but it's an idea I've been really excited about doing on my channel, and it's trying to read like X amount of books in X amount of days. So I really want to do that as someone who's kind of just trying to get her reading numbers up. I also have some friends who want to do like a 24-hour readathon. That is my dream. I want to do one of those for so long. So hoping that the summer comes through. I really hope, you guys, I'm so sorry. I really hope that my mouth noises, mouth sounds are not horrible. Like, I'm trying really hard to make a podcast right now that I don't have to like go through and cut up every 5 seconds of. And I'm just, oh my god, if I drink water, like, that's worse. Like, then you're just gonna hear me like gulping into the microphone, and nobody wants to hear that. So I'm just doing the best I can, babes. I'm so sorry. Oops. We'll get better. We'll get better next time. I'll like take notes. I'll like stay hydrated just for you guys. Like, drink your water. Like, remind yourself. Like, if you were doing a podcast, like, they wouldn't want to hear your mouth noises, and like that can be your like get hydrated motivation. Okay, that'll be mine. It could be yours. We're gonna be hydrated, hot girl summer. Like, it's gonna be fine. Okay. Um. Anyway, so yes, I would love to do like weekly podcast episodes. I don't know how we're feeling about that. But I really definitely want to do like the reading, like trying to read like a book a day challenge. I think that would be so much fun. Do reels, and then also maybe do like YouTube versions, just kind of to diversify the content. I feel like I could be posting so much on YouTube, at least YouTube Shorts. I feel like I could be repurposing all my reels. But genuinely, I'm so frustrated. How has nobody come up with something yet where I can take my reels from Instagram and just automatically upload them to YouTube? Like, because I use Instagram edits, which, by the way, if you're a book streamer or want to be a book streamer, that is my biggest tip. If you're on Instagram, like, use the edits app from Instagram. It's so easy to use. It goes right into Instagram. It's like literally like my favorite editing app ever. I know like really fancy people like to use CapCut, and to each their own. Like, if that works for you, you do you, boo. I love that. It does not work for me though, because it is so much, and like I'm all about the simple and funny content. Like, that's really what I try to do. Every once in a while you see something a little bit elaborate for me, and I'm very proud of that. But I do it all on Instagram edits. And in order to post something to YouTube, I have to make it in edits, like download the video, upload it into YouTube, rewrite all my stuff, and I'm just like like, it takes me long enough to freaking just schedule my Instagram post for the next day. I still have to go in and schedule tomorrow's Instagram post. I may batch my content, but I schedule all of my stuff the night before. I write all my captions the night before, whatever I'm thinking in that moment. Like, sometimes I'm just ranting in those captions, by the way. Does anyone... Okay, I feel like I'm talking so fast right now. Does anybody read my Instagram captions? Genuinely, I have this crisis about 3 times a day of, are people genuinely... Sorry, my computer just, like, went to sleep, which... Anyway, I'm getting really tired. Have we only been talking for 9 minutes? Like, I don't even know, like, if it's been 9 minutes or if my phone cut out. Anyways, that's horrible. So, where even was I? I said I'm talking... Oh, yeah. Crisis I have, like, 3 times a day is, like, do people even read my Instagram captions? Because I will sit there and sometimes I'd be pouring my heart out on those things. And I'm like, I really don't even think anyone reads these captions. Sometimes I put questions of the day in there just to get people engaged and talking in the comments, trying to start some conversation. I love replying to comments. Before I go to bed, I look at all the comments and I love to reply to all of them. It is so much fun. And I feel like no one answers my questions of the day. And I'm like, well, sometimes I want to know what your favorite ice cream flavor is. Like, why won't you tell me? And that's okay. It's fine. It's just hashtag content creation life. Like, it's fine. Let's see. So I think as far as like goals go for that. Oh yeah, I would love to post more on YouTube, but it's a lot, and I don't like that I can't get my content to immediately upload. I am low-key active on Pinterest, and the reason why is because Pinterest will sync to my Instagram and automatically uploads all of my Instagram posts to Pinterest. YouTube, take notes. Like, why don't we have something that does that? I don't, it's not computing. Like, I would love to know. Anyway, so yes, we are actually on the Pinterest grind. I've been very impressed with the Pinterest analytics. I actually low-key have like almost 500 followers over there, which for someone who's literally only posted to Instagram, that's insane and wonderful. I used to be so on top of making like Pinterest boards for all of my reads, and like I don't do that anymore either. So that's unfortunate, but I should try to get back on that. Speaking of reads that we want to get back into, I really want to read more YA fantasy. I feel like when I started my bookstagram, I was such a huge YA fantasy girl, and then I feel like I just got like swept away into all kinds of other things. I feel like I've read quite a few not like young adult fantasies, but just like adult fantasies or romanticities, which I've loved. Like Fourth Wing took me out. Like I love Fourth Wing, and like if you're a hater and you think that's basic, like okay, that's fine. I love, like, call me basic then, because that is what I am, and I'm so happy because I love it so much. I'm obsessed with it. It's wonderful. It's so good. I'm so excited for book number 4. That whole like genuinely, because I reread Fourth Wing and it was still good. Like I still loved it when I reread it. Like I made the mistake of deciding I was going to reread it before Onyx Storm came out, and I was in Hawaii and I felt like a horrible person because I literally wanted to just sit in my hotel room and read, and I was literally in Hawaii and I was like, but I want to read my book. Like that's when you know the book is good, is when it's pulling you away from a vacation. So I am obsessed with Fourth Wing. And then I've read a couple other like adult romances, but I want to read more young adult romances because I feel like that was kind of where I started, and I have a lot of like teenage followers, and people are always asking me for like YA recs, and I want to have more YA recs to give them, other than my usual like, oh, you know, Shatter Me and The Cruel Prince, which also I don't consider The Cruel Prince like a romantasy. It's definitely more of a fantasy with a romance side plot, which I've actually seen a lot of people talk about on the on the Bookstagram side of things. So that seems to kind of be a common consensus now. I feel like at first a lot of people were like going into it like, ooh, like I'm gonna read this romantasy, and it's like, oh, like that's not a romantasy. It's a fantasy with a romance subplot, because I know like me, like I actually, ooh, okay, hot take, and this is the story of how Landry Reads got canceled on her podcast. I didn't love The Cruel Prince. I'm a big romantasy girly. Like I need a strong romance subplot. It can be a slow burn, but I definitely need there to be. I need there to be a burn, if that makes sense. Like the beginning of The Cruel Prince for me, yeah, I didn't like it. Sorry, friends. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you liked it. Like I love that for you, and I am like all over that for you. Support you. Awesome. For me personally, um it wasn't it. Also, if you're watching, I don't know what happened, but my camera zoomed out a while ago, and this is my dog, this little white lump right here. Her name's Cora, and I love her so much. And she's sleeping in my bed because it is way past everyone's bedtime, and everyone should be sleeping right now, and I'm not. Yay. Um, but yeah, for me, like The Cruel Prince was definitely a, like, not necessarily romantasy. So if someone asked me for a romantasy, which I feel like is my most common request, like I want to have more recs to give them. I also, my camera did that thing where it cuts out again. I don't know why, and I'm so sorry, and I don't know what that sounds like when it happens. But I'm just gonna pick up from a couple seconds ago. I recommend Once Upon a Broken Heart a lot. As a young adult romantasy, I feel like a lot of people like that one. For me, again, like wow, I'm just really like assembling all like the popular fandoms today, because Once Upon a Broken Heart also low-key was my favorite. Again though, like if you like that, like I see why people like it. Like that I understand why people like both The Cruel Prince and Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I support those fandoms so big. I'm like biggest cheerleader for both of them. I love like Jude as a character, by the way. I don't want to put that out there. Like Jude Duarte as a character is like amazing. Like I'm obsessed with her. Book in general, and then Once Upon a Broken Heart, I definitely get it, but I just feel like it didn't connect with me the way that it kind of connected with other people. But I always say, like, if you guys want a very magical, immersive world, I feel like Once Upon a Broken Heart is such a perfect series for that. So I always recommend it just because I know there's so many other people who like it. But yeah, I want to have some more like niche recommendations that are young adult for people, so that way when they ask, I feel like I'm able to like give them things that they maybe haven't heard of quite yet. Um, oh my gosh. And then I literally made a reel yesterday about Divine Rivals, and I miss that series so much. I want to do rereads so bad. I'm fighting demons this year between trying to actively read more books because I obviously want to read more books. And also rereading old books because I'm getting to the point where I'm obsessed with all the books on my shelf, which is a beautiful thing, but I literally want to reread all of them. Like every single one. So I'm like, okay, like what do I do? Um, because if I'm busy rereading, then I'm not really consuming anything new, and that's kind of sad. But also, if I'm consuming new things, I feel like I'm not getting to like. Sometimes you just have like a craving for like one of your old stories, and you just want to revisit them. So, trying to balance those out, which has been kind of a struggle recently. Um, as for why I kind of started making this podcast episode in the first place, I think that's kind of an interesting story for you guys. I was talking to one of my new super cool friends. Her name is Izzy, and she had just started a podcast with her friend Maddie, both of which are active participants in the Landry Reads community. I do notice them commenting or liking or being like engaged in reels and things I post, which like literally like I wish I could explain to you guys the way that that makes me feel. Like, it just makes my heart like squeeze. Like, I love it. I feel so grateful. I feel like, honestly, guys, like, the Bookstgram life is better than it's ever been. Like, genuinely, like, it makes me so happy. It makes my heart swell with pride. I'm so proud of everything, all the work that I've done, especially coming off of the high that was like Y'all West. Like, wow, which I'm also just realizing. I think my last podcast video was also about Y'all West, but it was Y'all West last year. And guys, I think it's been a year since I've released a podcast episode. Also, side note, I did film another podcast episode with Amanda back in September, and I haven't finished editing it. And that's why you don't have it, because we talk about Sabrina Carpenter's Man's Best Friend album. And I just haven't finished editing it, which is why you guys don't have it. But I want to give you guys the name of the podcast that my friend started. It's called Beyond the Book Podcast. It's on YouTube. I highly recommend you check it out. If you're a fan of like the silly, goofy side of my content, I think you're gonna love Beyond the Book Podcast. Right now, they are kind of dissecting and talking about like Shatter Me, but it's not necessarily like the deep dives, which there's a time and a place for the deep dives. I love me a good deep dive. If you love a deep dive podcast, check out Fantasy Fangirls with Nicole and Lexi. I'm obsessed with them. They're hilarious. But when I'm watching Beyond the Book, I feel like I'm like in the room with them, and we're just doing like a little girly slumber party, and they're like telling me like, oh my god, like what about this part? And it's like if someone was literally like, hey, for 40 minutes we're gonna talk about books, and you're like, okay, so does that not sound great? You should totally check it out. I will link it in all the things, either show notes if you're on Spotify or description if you're on YouTube, just so that way you can have access to it in all ways, shapes, and forms. So yes, definitely that's like my little like new thing that I discovered recently, but they kind of inspired me to like I feel like they just had such like a cute setup, and I feel like guys, like do we kind of like these vibes? Like I can do better audio recording. If I listen to this back and it's horrible, I will bring out the normal mic again. And I'll do the good mic, and I'll try to film during like normal hours of the day so I don't have to whisper into the mic and hold it so close to my mouth, and you guys don't have to hear every single sound I make, because just thinking about that makes me miserable on your behalf. But I love this little setup. If you're watching the video, like I redid my shelves. I think this little like rainbow shelf here is so adorable. Um, so yeah, that is about everything. I will say, going back into just like updates with the Bookstagram, I did a thing. Guys, I did a thing, and I saved the best for last because I'm so excited about this thing. Guys, I made a website. I designed a website. Landry Reads officially has brand colors and brand fonts that I'm obsessed with. I've tried to do branding for Landry Reads so many times, and I've always like ended up kind of straying away from it because I didn't like it anymore. But like I found something that I think really, really works, that I really, really love, and I'm so insanely proud of. So I did make a website. I will link it again in all the things. It's already in like all my bios and whatnot. It's literally, and like even if it's not, I domain named it, you guys. I got a domain. I know. I was like, okay, screw it. Like we're gonna full send it. So you guys better be visiting this website and loving this website. The website is landryreads.com, exactly like my username, but no underscore. Okay, look it up, and you guys can increase like my SEO, make me appear higher in the searches. That would be awesome. Um, right now, it kind of just serves as like my link in bio, in the sense that it has all of my links for things, all of my platforms. I have like a discount code for Page End's Etsy shop, a little plug for them. If you guys want to check out Blind Dates with Books and other fun bookish goodies, use code Landry10. You can get 10% off. I love the store. I've done a couple blind date unboxings, and we also did a giveaway a couple months ago for Valentine's Day, which is so much fun. I love that shop. Everything from there is so adorable. I'm completely obsessed with it. That is all linked in the website. My interview with Shanjay Spams on the website, a little bit about me, contact if you guys ever want to reach out to do collabs or just say hi, whatever you're up to. I love getting fun emails. I also have a little page for our Stuck Between the Covers podcast. If you want to be featured, want to be a guest, or you know someone who'd be interested in being a guest, please send them my way. I promise we'll do a little bit more of a professional setup than this right here. I'll do it up my desk, get the Zoom, put on the headphones, put on some makeup. Don't worry, I'll really pull myself together. I promise. So that if you guys have any ideas for guests, and then I also, just for my personal like excitement, I put a little for publishers section, and it's kind of like a little resume portfolio of things I've done to hopefully convince some publishers to work with me. That has been one of my biggest goals since starting my Bookstagram. I was kind of open about this. I think towards the beginning of the year, I made a little post that was like dreams I'm scared to put out in the universe, and one of those things was to moderate an author Q&A. I don't know what it is about that thing. I feel like that's such like a random pool for like bookish things, but like I want to do that so bad. Like when you go to see like Tahira Mafi on tour, right? And she's like touring around, and it's like, oh, Tahira Mafi is gonna be at Barnes and Noble. I think it's like Rose Hill. I don't know. That's one in California. And then you guys go, and it's like she goes up there and like someone like asks her questions. I want to be the person who like asks the questions. Like they don't have to be my questions, like just the audience questions. Like I just want to do that so bad. I feel like I'd be good at it too. Like I love to interact with people. I can project my voice, I can public speak, all the things. And like I don't know why that calls to me as much as it does, but like that is the dream for me. So we're gonna try to do that at some point within the next few years. Obviously, anytime I can interview another author, that'd be great. And then a section that I'm really excited about adding is I posted a little poll on my story a few days ago. I'm currently working on a post for Instagram that goes in depth on how I plan for all my author interviews. I recently interviewed Shanjay Span. That's like my most recent outline, and I was just very proud of the way that I structured everything. And I was like, this might be helpful for other people who are hoping to interview authors or are interviewing authors and want to know, kind of just what that process looks like for me. Maybe there's stuff they can take away from it, whether it's, oh, I definitely like that, or maybe I don't like that, I want to try something new. And I was like, do you guys also want like a PDF guide that is maybe a little bit more easy to digest, not something necessarily on your Instagram? And so I would love to also put like a for bookish content creators, for book influencers, for bookstagrammers, except etc. Sorry, I've also been saying so many things, guys. Your little literary grammar reminder: it's etc., not etc. I've been hearing myself. I never thought I would say that, but like I've been hearing myself say etc., and I've been giving myself an ick. Like it's etc. etc. There we go. Um, however you identify yourself as a bookish person who posts on the internet, I want to make a little tab for that has like resources there, and I feel like that's a really good place to start. I just feel like that's also a really nice way to kind of give back to this community that I've built and all the friends that I've made here. If they need me, I show up for them, because that is the way that I hope people feel about me. So overall, like, I think that's about it. This is a pretty decent length episode. It's almost 30 minutes, guys. Your girl really just yapped for 30 minutes straight. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening to me. I would love to see how you're doing. You know, maybe you go check out my website and you send me an email and you're like, hey, I just watched your podcast episode. I just want to let you know that I'm doing great. Tell me some good news about your life, okay? How are we doing? I would love to hear. If you're on YouTube, you can leave a comment. I still don't think Spotify does comments. Maybe they do. I'm like kind of old at heart in some ways and young in others. Like, I feel like I know my way around Instagram, but literally anything else, I'm like, I have no idea. So leave a Spotify comment. I don't even check Spotify comments. I don't know if it's just because I'm not getting one, if it's because they don't have any. I don't know, guys. I don't think Spotify has comments. I'm not crazy, right? Anyway, yeah, but maybe you go check out the website. I'm so proud of it. I designed it all by myself, okay, from scratch. So if you guys are like, wow, this is great, I will say the desktop version, like the version you'll see on a computer, is a lot prettier than the version you would see on a phone, in my opinion. So if you have a computer nearby and you want to get like the full experience, I say look at the computer version, because that's how I originally formatted it, which in hindsight feels stupid, because I feel like most of the people looking at my website are going to be looking from my Instagram, so they'll probably be on their phone. But yeah, that was just not the way that things ended up working out. So enjoy. Anyway, yeah, go check it out. I hope you like it. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. If somehow you found this podcast completely on your own and you're not following me on Instagram or YouTube, you totally should be. On Instagram, it's at Landry_reads. On literally every other platform, there's no underscore. Just by the way, like literally anything that's not Instagram, it's at Landry Reads. Instagram is at Landry_reads. I never thought there were that many Landrys in the world, and apparently there are, and good for us. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I united in our Landry name. So yeah. Anyways, I'm actually gonna go get stuck between the covers, and the literal ones this time, because I'm so tired. Depending on when you're imagine you're like watching this, it's like 7 a.m. and like it's literally midnight. It's 12:12. That feels like a special time. Also reminds me of Slumber's song. Anyone else from the hours of 12 to 12. I also like, okay, sorry. We're getting so sidetracked. I've tried to like stop this podcast so many times and I haven't. Slumber, let's talk about that real quick. Oh my god, I didn't even talk to you guys about off campus. That's what our next episode's gonna be about. Our next episode's gonna be about off campus, but I feel like this is just not the time or the format. Like, I'm gonna need to get the big mic out for off campus, and that will be our next episode, and maybe I'll film it tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, I've been listening to a few Slumber songs, not a lot. I want to be a bigger fan of him than I am, but like 12 to 12 is such a good one. I've been listening to We Never Dated, because that was in off campus, and then obviously like Back to Friends. Like, I just feel like his songs that hit me so hard. I just have a very special obsession with 12 to 12 for whatever reason. But if you're a Somber fan perchance, let a girl know what songs we're loving that aren't like as mainstream, so I can go listen to those and make myself a fan, because I love to be a fan. Okay, being a fangirl is the best thing in the whole world. And with that, my timer says we've officially hit 30 minutes, so I should probably let you guys go now. As always, I love you all so much. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, night, evening, morning, week, however you're feeling. Just wonderfulness all the way around. And thank you so much. If you made it this far, genuinely, like, thank you for sitting down and chatting with me. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that this made you feel a little bit more part of the Landry Reads and Stuck Between the Covers community, because I'm really grateful for all of you, and I feel like that has just been the theme of the past few months is how grateful I am. I feel like I say it all the time, but it's because it is so true. So without further ado, goodbye, my lovelies, and I'll see you next time. Bye.